So since we've been out the last 2 days, we were supposed to start this project, but obviously school got canceled, so things got shifted a little bit. So today I'm just going to go through and explain what we're going to be doing. And then when we come back on Thursday, we're actually going to start this project. So we are going to do egg bungee jumping. And so basically, you're going to figure out how long your bungee cord should be to make sure that your little jumper, which is an egg, doesn't hit the ground. So in this lab, you're going to see how much stretch there is in bungee cords that are various lengths. So I'm going to give your group an egg, a support system, which will be this little netting and a paper clip, a meter stick, bungee cords, which will be rubber bands. And the goal is that we're going to do some test jumps and you'll get data. We'll use that data in Desmos to predict the number of rubber bands that you're going to need to have your egg jump from a certain height and get close to the ground but not hit the ground. So after we get all this data, like I said, I will give you a height when you come in on Friday. Each group will get a particular height. So I might say, okay, your group's jumping from 130 centimeters. And then you'll use your data to figure out how many rubber bands or portions of a rubber band you would need. You'll connect all of those to your egg, and then we'll actually have your egg drop from that height, and we will record it in slow motion on a phone, and we'll see how close you can get to the ground. Obviously, if you hit the ground with your raw egg, it's going to splatter everywhere, so obviously you would want to avoid that, but that's the general idea of what we'll be doing. So for grading, the jumping part is just a portion of your grade. So the actual egg jump is a group part of the grade. So your whole group will get the same grade for this portion only. This portion is a third of the total grade. So if you drop your egg and it doesn't hit the ground, that's considered a successful jump. So it's this yellow box up here. So if your egg is 0 to 10 centimeters from the ground when we check your video, your group would get an A for that part. If it's 11 to 20 centimeters from the ground, you would get a B. 21 to 30 centimeters would be a C. More than 30 centimeters from the ground would be a D. So you want to get close because the closer you get, the better your grade is, but you don't want to hit the ground. If you happen to hit the ground, it's considered an omelet jump, and that is all of these grades in the black boxes. It says minor impact with the ground, so it might just have a little crack or a noise, but it doesn't like splatter. You can still get a B. If it has a large crack, but your egg is still for the most part intact, you would get a C. If your egg completely like splatters, you get a D. So again, this is just for a third of the grade. So if you get a D, but you do really well in the rest, you'll still be okay. Also, the group that gets closest to the ground without egg damage will get a prize. So just something else to think about when you're doing this. If your person recording in slow-mo misses how close your egg gets to the ground, I can't grade it. So you got to make sure whoever's recording does a good job recording. So like I said before, your grade is a combination of your jump, which was all of that information I just went over, along with several things I'm going to post in Google Classroom over the next few days. So anything posted in Classroom will need to be completed individually. So some of those assignments are like graphing your data in Desmos, creating a line of best fit, making predictions, and I'm also going to have you do a reflection, which will be a Google form that you'll fill out. So again, all of those parts are done individually. The only thing that's a group grade is the actual jump and the test jumps. And it's very clearly posted in Google Classroom which parts are individual and then which parts are as a group. So this was going to be if we're in class, but we are going to make groups of 3 or 4 people. And today I'm going to have you kind of tell me who you would like to work with. And I will do the best I can to get you in groups of people that you want to be working with. I do want to mention that we'll probably actually be further apart than we are when we're sitting in our desks. So that's a good thing. But 3 or 4 people, if you don't know who you want to work with, you can also put that in the form and I'll just find a group of 3 and put you in that group. There are different roles each person's going to have. So tomorrow, after I tell you who your group is, you will decide which responsibility you want to have. And so one person will be the person that's dropping the egg. So you'll have your egg secured, attached to a rubber band, and then we're just going to be dropping it and like seeing how far down it goes. So the egg dropper is the person who's making those drops. This person needs to be coordinated because if at any point during the process you drop and crack your egg, you have to start all over. So you want to make sure that that person's coordinated and will be careful with your egg. One person will be the data recorder, and they will record all the measurements in the Google slide. They will also need to share it with each person in your group and me, and that's part of a group grade. So you definitely want to make sure that the recorder can listen well and isn't forgetting to share it. And then lastly, if you have 3 people, you would have 1 data reader. If you have 4 people, you'll have 2 data readers. But they're going to look at the yardstick, and when the person is dropping the egg, they're going to see how far down it goes. So that person just needs to be able to pay attention and be able to read a meter stick. So just be thinking about which job you might be interested in. Again, I'll tell you your groups tomorrow, and then you can each decide what job you want to have.